There was a question about from Brother Muhammad Bayoumi concerning the verse.
Brother Muhammad?
Bayoumi from Al-Kababir.
Yes.
And
it's concerning the verse.
بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة. سورة المعارج آية رقم 5.
Correct. This question has been asked before, and I remember that during one sitting I gave a detailed answer, but this is an important question which has to be, the answer has to be repeated. I think it will be no harm if I repeat everything I said before. The Holy Quran mentions years in this context twice. The first, which is the key verse for the understanding of this one, is the verse which speaks of 1,000 years of humans are like one day of God. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يدبر الأمر من السماء إلى الأرض ثم يرجع إليه في يوم كان مقداره 1,000 سنة مما تعدون. See, it's a very important verse which provides us a key to the understanding of this verse speaking of 50,000 years. If one day of God is equal to 1,000 years of humans, right? In 50,000 years, how many days there would be? Each day would be equal to 1,000 years of human counting. Because there, Allah Ta'ala does not repeat the verb mimma ta'udun, which means that those 50,000 years should be understood in the light of this verse, where each 1,000 years of human understanding should be counted as one single day of God. So how many days there would be in 50,000 years if they are multiplied by 1,000 years each? Then the real meaning of 50,000 would appear. You know the logic now? Understand it? Obade?
Yes, sir.
You understand the point? Yes. Now, I did it because I had a very strong feeling that Allah Ta'ala is speaking of the age of the universe. Every universe which is created has a fixed time, of course, because everything, according to the Quran, is moving to ajal musamma. So everything which is made by scientists of, knowledgeable scientists and those who know the technologies and things, they are always able to fix the date of expiry. When their manufactured machine or whatever it is should normally come to an end, after which it will be unsafe to use it. So God, the best of all the creators, the creator in fact, whatever He creates, He fixes a date, and that is ajal musamma. Even on the tins of fish, canned fish, you read the date. It expires, the edible date would expire on that and that day of that and that month, that and that year. So if humans can project themselves to prophesy or predict the expiry date, God knows all the calculations to the minutest. His fixation of date must be perfect. So that was the idea, that was the thought which led me to just find out from the Quran where has God mentioned the age of the universe? See? So when I read this verse in the light of the one which I have read from the Quran, this was, it opened the door for me very clearly. It means that the 50,000 years of God have one day each equal to 1,000 years of humans. So multiply that, and the answer is 18.25 billion years. 18.25 billion years. Now you'll be amazed to hear that the scientists who have worked mathematically through many ways and means, or I should say estimated the age of the universe from the signs of the rays and the ambient temperature of the universe, etc., etc. They're complicated things, I don't want to go into that detail. But know that the knowledgeable scientists have put the date somewhere between 15 billion years to 20 billion years. And in between stands this figure, which I have calculated from this verse. 18.25 billion years. My personal inclination is that perhaps the figure of 18 billion is closest. It happens to be in the middle, and also it has extra 0.25 billion years left to our age. So if 18 billion years are proved, and this is not difficult to prove, because gradually as the science is gaining more information, it is getting closer to approximations. So from that I believe if 18 billion years are agreed to be the age of the universe, we are left with only 0.25 billion years in future. That would be the doomsday. That would be the ajal musamma, in which whole the universe will be wrapped up and sunk into the black hole. So Amr returns to God, which begins this journey from some time long ago, which we can't even really visualize properly. It will complete its journey of Inna Lillahi wa Inna Ilaihi Raji'un with reference to the creation of the universe in 18.25 billion years. Got it? Please.
Right.
Another meaning which covers both the verses together. In this interpretation, I have used one verse only to lead to the meaning of another one. But the other meaning, which can apply equally to both, speaks of some cycles which appear on earth. Human life is short. So human cycles are divided into 1,000 years periods. You understand? So every one day of God, which means every period of change in the history of humans, takes place according to Allah in every 1,000 years. That is one meaning of that verse. And a much bigger change which is brought about in the climate of the earth and other important features of the planet Earth plus the life on Earth relates to a 50,000 year cycle. And the scientists tell us that in 50,000 years, perhaps an age is set, and other big changes take place. So this is again a period which has come to be noted by the scientists of some great importance in the normal cycles of things happening on earth. So in this regard, two cycles are mentioned. One in the verse which speaks of 1,000 years. And that cycle in which 7,000 years play a role because the week is divided into 7 days. Each day of humans, of God, is like 1,000 years. So when God speaks of 7 days of a week, which means the cycle of a week is a continuous process. Every 7,000 years a new cycle appears, and every next 7,000 years a new cycle appears. So the word 7 here is indicative of a continuous going round and round of cycles, each cycle of 7,000 years. So that is derived from the 7 days as applicable to the creation of universe and so on and so forth. So I don't want to go into further detail, but I can assure you that as far as the affairs which the humans can experience here on earth are concerned, there is definitely a 1,000 year cycle in operation, so also a 50,000 years cycle in operation. The second important thing is that the religion has a week of 7 days, because according to both Judaism, Christianity, and both Judaism or the New Old Testament and Islam, the Quran, the Adam who was our forefather, happened to be about 6,000 years before us. So when the age began with Adam, it does not mean that he was the only Adam. It means that the week in which Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was to be born, the week in which humanity had to reach its summit and ultimate culmination into Khatam an-Nabiyyin, that week began, that is the 7,000 year cycle, began with Hazrat Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And it will end after 7,000 years. Then new religious changes may be brought about. Allah knows which and how. But we can be sure that the 7-day week is almost consumed. We're left with about 900 years or so of the remaining week, which is designed to complete the Islam's victory. So when Islam becomes victorious, then the 7-day week will be completed. And after that, what happens has already been intimated to us by Rasulullah sallam. But then the things will change and the bad wind will begin to blow, and mankind ultimately will be rejected by God. Right?